Every year, the UK uses 13 billion plastic bottles, but only 7.5 billion are recycled. The rest are put to landfill, incinerated or littered, and it costs local councils £778 million a year to clear up that litter. And with bottles making up a third of all plastic pollution in the sea, they're seen as one of the biggest forms of avoidable single-use plastics.
Anytime you go anywhere in the car, there's bags in the trees, it's on the side of the road, animals caught up on the television with things wrapped around their necks, down their throats, birds trapped. We've seen seagulls that have been trapped by fishing wire. Horrified what's happening to the seas, the land, everything really. It's just seeing it all in the streets, it's awful.
But public drinking fountains, once a staple of parks and high streets across the country, have largely been decommissioned. There's now barely a handful scattered across the whole of the East Midlands. That means even when you've invested in a reusable water bottle, sometimes there's nowhere to fill it up. But now some businesses are teaming up to try to change all that. This high street greengrocers is now offering free water refills to anyone who wants one.
Hopefully people will use, even if it's a bought plastic bottle, they'll use their plastic bottles to refill again and maybe not buy so many in the future. Use their sports bottles to top up so they don't go to the shops and buy the plastic bottles.
She's one of a growing number of businesses signing up to the Refill scheme, an app which shows users where they can get a free drink of water. There are now 1,600 across the country as people become more and more concerned about the plastic problem.
It's just overwhelmingly, it's disgraceful, absolutely disgraceful. There has got to be another way. It's just everywhere you look, everywhere. Unnecessary packaging, unnecessary bottles. People need to just do their bit, do a little bit, and it'll add up.
And in many places, local councils are now joining the fight. Earlier this year, Gedling Borough Council voted to become a plastic clever council, reducing its use of single-use plastic. This includes phasing out all sales of plastic such as bottles, cutlery and straws, and even providing free reusable bottles at council-run leisure centres. And despite budget cuts, they're determined to make it work.
We're not just going to stop because there's a big money sign saying you can't do this. Nowadays we have to think and we have to phase it in. So it might be 1 year, it might be 2 years, it might be 3 years, and even 5 years down the line we might still be doing something, but we're doing something every year, and it's every year we're making that impact. And that little impact, if it's taken across the whole of the UK and across Europe, then I think we can make a massive dent in the amount of stuff that's thrown away.
They also want to see the reintroduction of public drinking fountains, with £20,000 already set aside for the project. In the meantime, campaigners like Nicole are doing their part. She's even making the switch to paper bags and more loose veg in her shop. The scale of plastic pollution can seem overwhelming, but her message is that when it comes to cutting down, every little bit helps. Charlotte Cross, ITV News.